everybody, welcome to Love Talk. Today we are at Emotive Frequency Studios, so thank you very much to the crew for allowing us to film here today. And we're speaking with Young Athena, young British artist, and she does so much. So welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm really excited. Thank you so much for coming.
Oh, no worries. I've been excited all week, seriously, and thank you so much to luvradio for having me on. I'm super excited to talk about some of my music and what's going on. I'm really excited.
Excellent. So let's get into it. So Young Athena. So we're going to start with your name because I looked it up and I thought, well, it was the Greek goddess of wisdom and welfare. Why the name Young Athena?
So, I think when I was very little, when my parents were choosing my name, they wanted to put quite a few different names within my actual name itself, so my middle names and things, and one of my middle names is Athena, so that's where that came from. And I think for me as well, having the name Athena, which is one of my own ones, is quite special because even as you just read out, the definition behind it is quite powerful, and I think also quite gracious. And I think as a name Athena, I think it kind of gives me a little bit of kind of feminine strength a little bit. And the young came from when I started off doing music. I was really only 11, 12, so I was young then as well. So I think it was kind of a mixture of where I was at age-wise and in my journey, and then with my name Athena as well. So yeah.
That's lovely. But even mentioning at 12, I know that you was even writing at 12 years old, right?
Yeah.
And so how did all of that come about? Let's start from the beginning. How did you start in music?
So when I was very little, my mum put me into cello lessons. So I learned classical music first, and I learned the technical side and the technical aspects of classical music, which I think really has given me the foundations for writing music, coming up with melodies, just all-round kind of music that I work on is something that came from the classical kind of background that I have. And my dad used to rap and my mum used to do opera singing. So since I was very little, I've heard from classical music to grime to hip hop to soul to R&B, all different things. And I think that is definitely what's built me into the musician I am, because from when I was literally a baby, I've heard music from every different place, from every country, from every genre, and then building up to when I was about 11, 12, when I joined secondary school that age, is when I started really thinking, oh, I should try songwriting, something I enjoy. I love listening to music, and that was when I first wrote the first song which I put out called Be Who You Are, which is just a song about change and about changing the world and taking responsibility for ourselves to make an effect on the rest of the world. And that was where that kind of started off from when I was younger to first songwriting.
What's the latest single? What are we promoting today?
In mid May was when I first started. So the first one was Need to Know. The second one was Beautifully Crushed. The third one was Skengman. The fourth one was Hypocrite, and then the kind of part of Hypocrite was the Hypocrite remix. So I think my most recent release, which is the Hypocrite Grime remix with the American grime producer, which is DJ Books, for me is super crazy to hear my stuff in America as well, and then to hear it back here, and to kind of hear the creative kind of juices flowing from a track that wasn't that sound at first has been really crazy for me. So that's my most recent release. And yeah, I think throughout all my releases it's been really fun because I love the music that me and the collective that I work with, Emotive Frequency, putting out has just been, it's just been amazing. I really have enjoyed it.
Yeah, and Emotive Frequency, I must say I admire your team.
I do as well. Don't worry, we're on the same page.
Yeah, I mean, you lot are just going in, and that leads me to the US. You making this track with DJ Book.
Yeah.
How did that all come about?
So from an artist that I've actually done a collective album with called Swan. Swan, he's a brilliant rapper, serious lyricist, and from working with Swan and Emotive Frequency, working with Swan, he did some projects with DJ Books. So I think I was kind of introduced to DJ Books through that huge connect and through the wicked music that came out of it. And from Swan and the Emotive Frequency team working overseas with DJ Books, that kind of, I think, created the connection, and the hard work that they did when they went out over to the States and when they came back here, I think has really solidified the kind of trust in creativity. So when it came to a Young Athena project with DJ Books, I was super excited. From hearing the Swan projects, I was like, it's a no-brainer. Like, he's absolutely just wicked. The beats are wicked and hardcore grime, like, which is something that I've enjoyed exploring. And that was just how it came about, and that was definitely through the hard work that has been put in before on previous projects and then to now. So yeah.
So how is that? How is it? Because I know the Hypocrite remix is kind of grimy, right? It's kind of grimy. Like, how is that being taken up? How is the response?
So I've actually, even from here, which is what I was kind of like, I wouldn't say nervous, but I'm always excited to find out what people think. I've had great response here from it, and from the community of people that listen to grime. I think especially with DJ Books is kind of audience, I definitely think it's had wicked kind of responses back from it. And I think because as well it's kind of undeniable grime, and the feel of it is hardcore. And my favorite part is the beginning where it's hypocrite, that part at the beginning, that real hardcore stuff about it is what I think people like, because I love the sweet sounding stuff, but I think when it comes to that type of grime and trying to get good responses back from grime heads, I think that one has got really good responses and is really is kind of liked by the scene, I guess, if you get what I mean.
Okay, so and you're talking about your love for music and the sounds, and like you said, you're getting into grime. One thing I do admire as well is the way you work and your mashups. That's it.
Yeah.
Watch me. I feel like the way I'm talking, the mashups, you know. But yeah, your mashups, and one of the ones that really resonated with your audience was Cardi B and Drake. I think it was.
The Bodak Bling one. Yeah.
Yeah. How was it building that mashup and then even putting it out there and hearing the reactions? What was your friend saying and stuff?
So with that particular mashup, I loved kind of creating it. I think Cardi B is one of my kind of inspirations for female rap in a way. I love her flows, I love her tone, I love how she kind of raps on records and speaks. I wanted to kind of pay homage to both Cardi B and Drake on it, but making my own version. So adding the melodies to it, doing it to an acoustic version of Hotline Bling, mixing two, I think, completely different songs from a female and male artist and putting them together. For me, it was really fun, and it also kind of let me challenge myself, which is what I enjoy. And I think when people first heard that, they were kind of wait, is it Cardi B? Is it Cardi B? Is it not Cardi B? Is it R&B, or is it Cardi R&B? People weren't sure, which I'm glad about. And I think when I first because I did a lot of Instagram lives last year, when I first did that on the Instagram lives, people were whoa, it's the sound they haven't heard before. And I think when I did it on Fatman Scoops live, which was a huge live for me to do. I love any live, but to go on there and to kind of get a response from him was whoa, it was crazy. But he kind of described it as taking a hardcore song and putting almost a kind of shine on it, a bow on it almost. And yeah, I got really good response from that. It's so different to the originals and it's super fun as well. So yeah, that mashups is something I love.
I watched the Fatman. I was actually on the Fatman Scoop.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, I was there. Of course I was. Yeah. And when he pulled it up, I was like, what's he got to say? I was like...
I thought that. If your heart was racing, I think my heart probably dropped to my toes.
I was like, oh my gosh. And then when he actually said, no, we have to pull it up.
That... Listen, I still feel the same emotion inside. From when he said, do it again. Especially because they go, he says you have 1 minute on that show. That's how long everyone has. For him to pull it up from the beginning, I was like, wow.
He was really
what can
excited.
I say?
He was
super
really excited. I mean, that man nearly started wheezing. He was really excited. I was excited for you. I was there pinging. Bare fires. I was like, yeah, no, because that mashup and the way you put those mashup, and I think as well, you've kind of made mashups your kind of thing. So if you want to do a cover, you've already got that kind of X factor, so to speak, that kind of, that thing about, okay, if I'm going to do a cover or I'm going to do something, this is how I'm going to word it, or this is how I'm going to do it. So I think that's really commendable. that you found your way and you found that sound, because that's exactly what everybody's looking for, is a sound that doesn't sound like anything else.
And
So
yeah, with my mashups, that's what I find. Like, I love sitting down like and hearing a song and thinking, what an amazing idea! Like, what could, like, it's kind of like Young Athena by it. Like, what else could I do with it? And I think that's why mashups, I think, connect a lot with other people, because I try my best to like still keep it's almost like the talent from the artists that they've put into it, like the lyrics and like the flows, but add that little bit of like sparkle and glitter to it, kind of thing. So yeah.
So if you want to hear Young Athena's mashups, go on her Instagram at young_Athena, and you'll be able to hear all the mashups, what she's got there. We're going to move on with the interview, and then we'll let you know about a bit more later. So, all right, so regarding music, and it doesn't have to be your song if it's not, but I'm really interested when I speak to artists. I really want to know, like, when you take yourself away and you just want to, you're in your happy place, what is your happy music? What is your happy song?
Beyonce. I'm a sworn member of the Beehive. I absolutely love Beyonce. Like, whether it's Single Ladies to Sandcastles to like just any Beyonce tracks, like she is like my core inspiration. I do love, like, I'm into a bit of WizKid at the moment. After hearing Essence, like that song, I'm just like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like, but Beyonce for me is like,
yeah, she's the ultimate
Beehive member. So I love Beyonce.
I know how you feel. Like yeah. So, but do you have a Beyonce song, a particular song that's your favorite? Have you practiced like that one song that you keep practicing?
Well, at the moment I've been practicing I Care by Beyonce, and when she did her Coachella performance in 2018, like that for me is just insane. Like, from the brass, like the marching band that she has behind her, to her performance, to the absolutely outstanding vocals, like those versions of those songs are my favorite. So I think I Care at the moment, the Coachella version, is my favorite. But I think my favourite song has to be Single Ladies, which is probably going to sound like everybody knows that song, but it's just a wicked song. And like her and her high heels, dancing with her dances, like in 6-inch heels, up slopes and back down, is just like fabulous. I just love it.
Yeah. I mean, nobody can knock a Beyonce, and if they do, then they just don't need to be
no words.
Okay, so with that being said, we've got an exclusives coming up to talk about and stuff, but what are your goals for this year?
So for this year, singles, like putting out different stuff for people to hear, is definitely one of my goals. And through my singles, like when I say the word singles, it's super broad, but through the songs I'm putting out, I want for people to get a grasp of what I am. And one of my goals is that, I think, because I'm quite a versatile artist, it can be easy to put myself in a box and go, oh, cause even though I can do lots of things, let's just do one thing. But I think through the help of my team and their direction, and through experimenting with my voice from the beginning of this year and even quarantine last year, it's been to get that sound across to people, from like Hypocrite to Need to Know to Beautifully Crushed Petals. That's definitely one of my goals, is to like get my sound more out there and to get people to get a grasp of the music I make, which is kind of a weird goal, it might sound like, but that's definitely one of them. I think another one of my goals definitely is to do more like collaborations. I think for me, I just get like amazing energy off of working with people, and that's something I've learned, especially within like Emotive Frequency as well, is learning the teamwork and learning to work with people. And even from the collective album I spoke about before that I did with Swan and with King Karoma, like with two different artists, and I think King Karoma isn't called King Karoma anymore, but he's called Ty Leone. And both of them, from working with them, for me, I found that like teamwork for me is huge in music, and it gives me a type of energy that I don't think compares to other things. And I think from the DJ books like Remix, working with other people, hearing a sound that I didn't even hear before is huge. So I think another goal is to do more work with other people, like collab, hear ideas, hear different things. So that's definitely another goal. And yeah, I think that's probably my goals for this year. I think there's a lot of other stuff I would like to do. A goal of mine, I think, in my life is to meet like Nicki Minaj and Beyonce. But I don't think that is too much of a yearly goal. I think that's just life goal. But
yeah, but it's still a goal. But so we wanting to do more collaborations. Have you got anybody in mind that that you would like to, or you're warming up to, or you're researching in order to try?
So at the moment, there's a few different things that we've got going on in the background, which I can't talk about, but you guys will find out soon. But there's stuff that's going on collab-wise. I think one thing for me that I'd like to do is work with a few more like live musicians and collab with them. From being involved in a few different things over the past year, working with live musicians, it's been a big awakening for me of, whoa, like, when someone can play something, you ask them to play like there and then, like, and you can hear it on a big stage, you can hear the bass, the drum kit, the guitar, like, that's something for me that I love. I think collab wise with singers and things like that, like, I just think my main goal is just like a Nicki Minaj or Beyonce, like Megan Thee Stallion. For me, I love the fact that she's out there doing her thing, but Megan Thee Stallion has and Nicki Minaj on one of her records and Beyonce on one of her records, and I just think, girl, get it, girl. Like, what can I say? Like, that's definitely that's like the hype for me. But I just think any artist to work with anyone creative is a blessing anyway. But like, I just know that if Nicki Minaj came and sat in here right now, I would just pass out. So
it's a really good year for females to showcase their versatility. I've said it to you before earlier today that the versatility that you're displaying in your music, you've got Need to Know, which is kind of R&B, Beautifully Crushed Petals, which is kind of jazz, and you've got the Skengman and the Hypocrite remix, which is kind of granny. I think that's really, really important for you to display, and I think you've used this time very, very wisely. And it's an inspiration. I think it's an inspiration showing the amount of work that you've put in, the fact that you've decided to go ahead and release a track every 2 weeks. Even that dedication, that's not easy to come by. That motivate and to keep motivated. How do you keep motivated?
I think keeping motivated, especially for an artist, is about finding a balance between like different stages. I think especially within the creative process and stuff like that. I think for me, staying motivated is about definitely people that support like me. Like, some people call them like fans and stuff, but they're more people that I see as like almost like your extended family, like the people that push good energy towards you and stuff like that, and always comment on your posts, always watch lives. Like, that type of thing for me is what keeps me motivated, because I just think I have all these people like saying, oh, well done for this, well done for that, and I think that they deserve like good music and deserve like to be kept up to date with what's coming out and given opportunities to watch me on lives or at a live event and things like that. So that's definitely a motivation. But I also think for me, a big motivation and something I've had to learn is having an idea and thinking in my head, this is going to sound really good when it's finished, but enjoying the process in between that, because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, which isn't always good, because I'll start an idea and be like, oh, but it doesn't sound as good, without realizing it's not going to sound as good because I've only just come up with the lyrics. It hasn't been recorded yet. I haven't had anyone else listen to it and give me feedback. It's not even properly on a beat yet. It's not this, it's not that. Like, it's so much stages within a song and within projects that's something that keeps me motivated, is thinking, this idea sounds wicked. Imagine how good it's going to sound like 2 months from now, 2 weeks from now, even 2 days from now. Like, that's a big motivation for me.
So saying that, how has it been with your juggling school, friends, career, music?
I wouldn't say that it's a lot, because I think like my friends are really supportive of me, like and I think because there's the kind of give and take aspect in a lot of my friendships, like a lot of them are doing a lot of different stuff like outside of school and are doing work, and because I go to Brit School at the moment, which is like a whole creative school, a lot of my friends there are up to their most amazing things outside of it. So I think there's the general respect of like, we're going to be busy, but like I still show love and respect towards my friendships and like value them more than like anything in that kind of space. And I think with college and stuff, because I'm doing music every day, it's not really like work for me. It's like, for me, it's something I love. Like, my teachers are so passionate and the people in my lessons are passionate. There's nothing I feel like I've found that's made me feel like in a way, oh, this is like work I don't enjoy. Like, I love it. So I think the balance is looking for the best in everything and always keeping positive. And I think if I start to feel a negative way about something, that's when the balance is kind of like this, because there's not enough good energy that I'm getting from it. And it's kind of reminding myself, like, no, even if I'm feeling a bit tired, or even if there's this or this, imagine how much good energy I'm going to get out of it once, like, doing this or putting work into this or stuff like that. So that's kind of how I balance it. I think it's taking the goodness out of everything and just putting it into, like, music and stuff is a good balance.
All right. So just talking about balance and having fun and stuff like that with the music. Obviously, music is built into you, and that's what comes out of your pores. But apart from music, do you do any, just for your audience and for your supporters to know, do you have any hobbies or anything you do for fun to relax away from music?
So I teach gymnastics as well. I haven't done a lot of it because of quarantine and COVID, but I was at gymnastics the other day and teaching kids, and like even socializing and seeing how other people are at my gymnastics was lovely. Like, it's something that I've done since I was little, doing gymnastics, and because I now coach at the same place, for me it's like great energy, and like it's something that I've always loved to do. So that's definitely a hobby I have. I've done quite a lot of sport throughout my life, so when I get involved in sport, that's something that I find is another hobby outside of like doing my work in music, and it's something that I enjoy and love. And yeah, I think sport is a big thing, definitely, and teaching gymnastics at the moment for me, like when I get the chance to, coming out of like lockdown and restrictions, for me it's really fun.
Yeah, we now know that you're going to be fine on the stage.
I hope
A big
so.
stage is no problem.
I hope so.
A big stage is no problem for Young Athena, yeah? She got the lock. She got gymnastics. Imagine that. Somersaults on stage. We're looking forward to it. Next Luciano coming up. All right. With that being said, being a young artist coming up and like knowing yourself the way you do, for another young person, there are other young people who may want to be an artist, who may want to do music, but they don't have. Sometimes they don't have all the support. Is there any advice you can give to a young aspiring artist?
So advice that I try like to give to a lot of people, like no matter kind of what age, but especially I find people who are younger, it's just to know more so your worth as like an artist, and no matter what stage you're at, no matter whether it's your phone you're recording on or you're in a big record label studio, no matter what it is, like you're an artist, like you're making art, it's special, it's a gift, it's not something that you should feel disheartened about, or you should feel, oh, I haven't got this or haven't got this, because if you've got a voice yourself and you've got the blessing of being able to create art, it's like just work with it, find time to craft it, almost like a little like piece of Play-Doh kind of thing. Like, it's like keep working at it, keep crafting it, like you can make something beautiful out of it, even if it's something that starts off small. It's definitely that, and it's never feeling disheartened because you've been blessed with something that's important. Like, people should hear it, people deserve to hear it, and you deserve to be heard. So that's definitely advice I would give. It's just keep working.
Beautiful. Like, and a lot on social media now, right? If you go through motivational speeches and stuff like that, there's a lot on it about you speak things into existence, you manifest. Your words are manifestation. So when I speak to artists, I really like to ask you all, like, how do you feel from the music coming from your peers and the lyrics and the whole how much money do you have, how much money have I got, how is that for you? Do you listen to that type of music? Is it and can you even enlighten me letting me know, like, when you listen to that music, do you actually listen to it and be influenced, or is it just the sound?
So I think like something as humans that we are is like, and something that like my dad has also taught me is that our bodies are like, we're all like very special, and a lot of our bodies is like made up of water, like something that's in our body, and vibrations from songs are very important because they do affect you. Like, you can hear a song that can make you cry, or a song that can make you dance, a song that can make you ecstatically happy, or a song that can make you angry. And I think hearing those songs, you have to, like, I appreciate music. Like, I think that music is really important because it's a sound that we literally make, and when people rap or speak, it's literally our vocal cords vibrating, which is crazy. But that type of music for me, I find like, when, depending on what's being said in it, I think, how is it making me feel? And if the music is like a vibe kind of thing, and I'm listening to it more for the sound, and I think, how could I make this sound into like a Young Athena record, or I really like the way like the beat sounds or the way that they're flowing or stuff like that. That's the kind of thing I take from it. I think though that if I listen to a piece of music that isn't making me feel good, I try not to, because I know that it will have an effect on my day, or it will have an effect on something I'm making. However, I do kind of know with music that it is about listening and thinking, this is what's big right now. What can I do that is kind of like a Young Athena record that still has elements of what people are making and sounds cool, but is an even bigger version of something that I love. So it's difficult, I think, with that, because I love like kind of soul music and stuff. So I always think I'm born in the wrong generation, but I'm glad in a way that the generation I'm in, there's so much of technology and stuff and so many different sounds all the time. But I love soul music. I love like the Aretha Franklins, the Etta James, like the Billie Holidays, like even Anita O'Day, like the jazz singer. I love that sound. So for me, I think different types of music have different effects on us, and I try to listen to music that I know is gonna help me with my music, or is gonna have a good effect on how my body feels.
And you know what? And the reason why I specifically asked that question, because I've listened to your music and you don't have much profanities in your songs at all, and I feel like artists such as yourself will influence the new generation coming up. That it doesn't all have to be what's trending is what you need to make as well.
Yeah.
Because everybody's got something different inside of them, and if we can bring out all those different flavors,
it would be amazing. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Okay, so we're gonna show off can I show off your artwork? We're gonna show off the artwork. This is Emotive Frequency. This is Young Athena. And to let you know the exclusive, you've got a store coming.
Yes, I have. So I have a t-shirt shop that's coming out, which has the artwork and covers for all my singles that have recently come out. I'm so excited for people to see it, and the quality is amazing, girl. You don't need to wear a jumper. You look good in the summer or winter, you know. And yeah, they're really lovely. I'm super excited about it. Like the first time I kind of saw them and had like a appreciation for them, I was like, oh my God, like my artwork is on a t-shirt. Like I just was like, how's that even possible? Like who did this? Kind of like, how is that possible? And I'm just so excited for people to also be able to have that same feeling and to be able to buy it and have the excitement of it being like shipped, and then they can open it and be like Young Athena type thing, you know what I mean? So I'm really excited like for that. And yeah, that is going to be up and running online. Keep a lookout on my social media, because all the information will be on there, and I can't wait to see you guys pictures in it. It'll just be amazing, and they're cute as well, and there's loads of different ones.
I'm gonna get one. We've gone right into your career from a childhood playing the cello.
Yeah.
And your favorite artist, your happy music. Is there anything like this is your time to address your audience, speak to your audience freely? I'll kind of step back from the frame.
So I have a live performance of my song Wrong and Right that's coming out with the amazing Vibes With Us. They are an amazing like group and organisation. They have open mics on Mondays. They did loads of Instagram live videos. They're amazing, and they're all hosted by the live shows by Miss Hins, and she also interviewed me with the live performance. It was just really amazing. Make sure to check that out. Also make sure to check out the most recent release, which is the Hypocrite Grime collab remix with DJ Books. I'm super excited for that. And yeah, keep a lookout on all my social media, Instagram young_Athena and Twitter official Young Athena for all information about new singles. Keep a lookout for the t-shirts as well. That will be on all my social media. And yeah, keep a lookout. There's a lot of stuff coming.
Thank you so much. This brings me to my last two main questions, which I ask every guest. If you could speak or have dinner with anybody, just have a conversation with anybody, past, present, future, who would it be?
I would probably... That is a really good question, especially dinner-wise, because I'd love to have a Chinese with someone, because I love a Chinese takeaway. I really do. And I would probably... That's a good question. I think for me, it would probably have to be like... probably Aretha Franklin, because recently I did a kind of dub and song for like Deja Vu called Play a Little Deja Vu, which is like my own take on Aretha Franklin's Say a Little Prayer. And when I tell you my vocal cords were like, I've never worked them so hard, it was crazy. Like that is someone I would, because the amount of knowledge that I hear in the notes that she puts out, the amount of depth, and you hear the history of her life, you hear the emotion. I would just love to sit down and just listen, and just love to know about the songs that she did and how she works with people, and how where the soul kind of comes from, and speak to her soul. I think that's just somebody who I just think is amazing and just out of this world. I always had to stretch my vocal cords more than ever. I think I've got abs on my vocal cords now from that song. So that's someone who I would.
Okay, so Young Athena, what is your message that you're sending to the world?
My message that I'm sending to the world is just be you unapologetically. You have one life to live as yourself, in this body as yourself. You're made beautifully, you're made perfect. Whatever created us here has created you to be you. You're beautiful and perfect just the way you are. Don't change. Make your art in any way, no matter where you live, no matter what ethnicity you are, no matter what language you speak, no matter where you're from. Is be you unapologetically, and show the world you deserve to be listened to, you deserve to be heard or seen. That is what I put out there. It's just be you, and that everyone is beautiful. Seriously.
That is beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for everyone for listening.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on Love Talk. Take care. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe so you can be notified about future interviews. Have a lovely day. If you would like to promote your music on Love Radio, please find us at www.luvradio.co.uk